Mission Impossible 8 has a budget nearing $400 million. We got our first teasers for Daredevil Born Again. Tom Cruise wants to make a sequel to Days of Thunder. Squid Game 2 dropped a full-length trailer. Tom Holland and Austin Butler got cast in American Speed. And a Game of Thrones movie is in the works. Let's get into this week's movie news.
What's up, movie friends? Welcome back to Raiders of the Lost Podcast, the ultimate film and TV podcast, and the weekly episode of Movie News, where we go through all of the industry news so you don't have to. We read the articles, we watched the trailers, we looked into everything. So sit back, relax, and hear about what's going on in the film and TV world. But first, let's start with the box office.
Well, this is going to be a packed episode,
It's a
by the way.
jam-packed.
There is so many stories to get into, so many castings,
Get
so
comfy.
many trailers.
Get comfy.
Yeah, this is going to be a good one, guys. So Venom 3
Venom.
is still the top at the box office, pulled in $22 million at the domestic box office in its second weekend. Quite a bit of a drop. It lost about like
Quite a bit.
60%.
A fair drop.
A fair drop, mate. From 55 last week. The Wild Robot still hanging on strong, $6 million at the domestic box office for DreamWorks, which is interesting still because you can rent this movie online.
It's very interesting.
It's pretty interesting. It's still doing pretty well. It's broke $250 million at the box office.
Good job, DreamWorks.
Smile 2 still raking in some dough. A great small budget.
It's grinning
horror
its
film.
way to success.
It's smiling at the global box office. Pulled in another $5 million domestically in its third weekend in theaters. Here, the new Robert Zemeckis movie just premiered this weekend.
It did.
And it pulled in $5 million at the domestic box office.
Not very good.
Not a great start to what looks like a terrific film. I'm very curious about it.
It looks interesting.
It looks interesting.
It looks good, but did not do well. No one seemed interested in seeing it. Unfortunately.
Conclave, in its second weekend, the Ralph Fiennes starring film, pulled in $3.2 million at the domestic
You
box
saw
office.
it.
It's an excellent movie. I
It's
can't
nice.
recommend it enough. Such a great thriller, on the edge of my seat until the last 5 minutes of the movie, and it was such a great payoff.
Fantastic.
And Terrifier 3, still pulling in some money, $2 million at the domestic box office, has broken $45 million at the global box office, which is absurd for such a small budget horror film.
Its budget was $3
mil.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Very successful.
$3 million?
$3 million.
That's a pretty good return on investment.
Not too shabby. Not too
Looks like
shabby.
they'll be making Terrifier movies for quite a while. Which
Right.
you can rent the other ones on Max right now, or they're on Max.
Yes, they're on Max.
Yeah.
That's correct. You did your research.
Max,
Wow.
we have the
meats.
Terrifier. We have the meats.
And Terrifier.
Bum, bum, bum.
All right, let's get into this Mission Impossible 8 news. The 8th film in the franchise reportedly has a budget closing in on $400 million, which will make it one of the most expensive films ever made. And Paramount is actually interested in marketing the film as the final entry in the franchise in order to boost audience interest. But Tom Cruise is against doing a public goodbye for the character, probably saving one for the chamber for maybe down the line. And I get that. I think that, you know, why say goodbye and make that a whole 6-month marketing thing, but maybe he makes another one. So.
Yeah. I mean, anything's possible with this guy.
Yeah, he still got
He's
it.
going to space to make a movie. Now he's in talks to do a Days of Thunder sequel, the 1990s Ridley Scott, or 19, is it 90s or 80s?
Wait, was it? What was it? Say it again.
Days of Thunder.
Yes, Days of Thunder.
Was it 90s or 80s?
Tony Scott, and that was in
That's the question.
86?
86,
Yeah.
the 1980s Tony Scott film.
88? Yeah.
He's chatting with Paramount right now about, hey,
Ooh.
I want to make this a sequel, which I'm all for. Tom Cruise
Let's
is
go.
in his 60s. He's just making a bunch of sequels to his bangers in the 80s. I hope he doesn't do one to The Firm. Didn't love The Firm.
James hates the firm.
Didn't love The Firm.
Oh my god.
He just does a bunch of cartwheels in the street.
He doesn't do cartwheels, he does flips.
He does cartwheel
Zero
flips.
cartwheels are done in that movie. Get it
makes
right.
No sense.
But it's cool.
It's not.
It's just cool, man.
Anyways, Mission Impossible 8, budget nearing $400 million. Not unheard of lately. You know, the last couple Marvel movies have been touching that.
Plus, I mean, it had the reshoots to deal with the SAG.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it wasn't planned to be that expensive.
Two strikes.
They had to stop for almost 9 months for filming.
Plus, you know, he does a lot of crazy stunts that require lots of prep. I'm all for it. I mean, $400 million. We'll see if it can pull in. If it's a $400 million budget, it really needs to make almost $1 billion. That's the problem.
Yeah.
It needs to pull in like $900 million to become green and
But
successful.
I think everyone, I mean, the last one was so well received.
But it didn't do that well at the box office.
Yeah, because of Barbenheimer.
Yeah.
Barbenheimer was the week after 7 came out. Like, you can't fucking compete with that phenomenon. They should have released number 7 at a different date. It still made $500 million.
Yeah.
It's no joke, but still, it would have made a shit ton if it wasn't for Barbenheimer following it up. You know what I mean?
God damn you, Barbenheimer.
But now it does. Eight won't have anything near that to compete with it. So I think it's going to eat up the box office. I think it could hit $1 billion, especially if the trailer looks great. And I think people just, especially after the Olympics, people love Tom more than ever, man. He is just on top, man.
I can't wait to tell my grandkids about Barbenheimer. What a time. Fuck COVID. Barbenheimer was the real juice. Moving on to some Disney Plus stuff. Got quite a few teasers and trailers. First of all, we got our first teaser of Daredevil Born Again, which comes out on March 4th on Disney Plus. We got great looks of the characters as well as Punishers in there. Plus, they released some interesting campaign videos for Kingpin, which was pretty cool for cross promotion for the show as well.
They look good.
They look pretty damn
really
good. Also, we got on Disney Plus a teaser for Wonder Man. This comes out December 2025 on Disney Plus. Our first teaser trailer for that show. Plus, we got our first trailer for Star Wars Skeleton Crew starring Jude Law and a bunch of child actors, premiering on December 3rd this year on Disney Plus. Very sort of Goonies vibes for me.
Yes,
Looks pretty good. If I was a kid, I'd be very intrigued.
Goonies in Star Wars space world.
Looks like fun.
Yeah.
Looks like
They should make a
good
Dune
time.
version. The Fremen kids. The Fremen Goonies.
So yeah, I don't know anything about Wonder Man.
They're looking for a giant, like a huge cavern of water.
Skeleton Crew. The trailer shows one kid finds a ship, I think, that sets them off on an adventure.
Yeah, they find a ship underground, and they don't know what it is, and they turn around, and it flies them out of their planet.
And Jude Law is just chilling, like, hey, let's go shoot some stuff up.
Jude Law's a Jedi.
What?
A Jedi.
A Jedi.
Yeah.
Jedi.
Jedi.
I thought you said Jai. I'm like, what's a Jai?
He's a Jedi.
He's a Jedi guy.
No, he's not a Jedi. He's a Jedi.
Jai. That's what it sounded like you said, man.
It's a valid Jedi. I'm a Jedi.
All right, let's move on.
I think Daredevil looked really good. It looked really well directed, and the performances, actually, it's a little tease, but I think that trailer looked really interesting, honestly.
Hopefully they can get back to the style that Netflix did with Daredevil to try to keep that audience strong.
Yeah. There's another trailer for Squid Game 2 that was released. This comes out December 26th, so celebrate the Christmas season with watching people get murdered in mass.
It's fucked up.
I didn't see a difference from this trailer from the one they dropped a few weeks ago.
Well, I mean, so basically what's happening
There's a little bit more story with him.
Song Gi-hun, the main character from the first film played by Lee Jung-jae, he is going back into the games. We don't know exactly why. I remember the last season ended with him getting the phone call about to board the plane, and then he turns around and he's like, you know what, I'm going to enter the game again.
I want to see him dye his hair back to black.
Yeah, I know. He dyed it pink for a day. He's like, I was just feeling something. But you know what? I'm going back to black and getting a haircut. So, and then he's going back to the game. It was a great ending to that show.
Yeah.
Controversial,
he gets the phone call.
But I thought it was really cool. And the new trailer, which we finally shows, we don't see why he's going to the game yet, but he's entered the game. He's accepted his invitation. And it seems like no one knows who he is except probably some of the employees at Squid Game. That's what I like to call it. They probably have an employee brunch at Squid Game.
They had a rundown about who he was.
So obviously he's being watched, and he's trying to prevent people from keep going into the games and stopping the games. But it's a lot of the same sequences. I mean, we have the red light, green light that we saw in the previous one. Obviously they'll mix it up with new games, I'm sure. But he's trying to warn the other contestants, the other 450 people.
Yeah.
We should not be doing this. You should survive. Like, stop playing the games. You can take your cash and leave. We can all split up because after every round, they take a vote whether to continue the game or not, right? But it really, I think, shows a great example of the greed of people and how money-hungry people can be because they want to keep competing even though they're being warned by this guy that you're all going to die.
Yeah. And
people are dying, but you know what? One more round. I thought it was pretty powerful.
The challenge with Squid Game 2 is to make it as fresh and shocking as the first one was because the first season, every time they went into something, we were like, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
Especially the first act of killing with the red light, green light. It was insanely shocking. We've all seen it, we know it's going to happen now. So the challenge for them is to keep it fresh for the audience the second time.
I really enjoyed the first season as well. I know it really kind of peaked mid-season, like episode 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, I didn't like the last 2 episodes.
It dipped a little bit in the end.
So for me, the ending didn't quite work.
So I'm hoping that they can maintain their momentum for the entire season.
Maintain that momentum, guys. You got this. I have hopes for it.
Speaking of momentum, Tom Holland got cast in another great-sounding project alongside Austin Butler. They're officially set to star in American Speed for Amazon. This is a crime thriller which follows 2 brothers who were famous race car drivers that financed their activities with drug smuggling, money laundering, and tax evasion.
That's so cool. That's a cool story. And man, what a great duo.
Yeah.
I love this.
Well, they were just hanging out while Austin was making Dune for a couple, because he was over visiting the set.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, so they probably like, hey, let's do a movie together. Probably.
Yeah, I'm sure they both were like, yeah, I'd love to work with you.
I mean, we had,
They were hanging
imagine
out.
they had Holland, Butler, Zendaya, and Chalamet just chilling, and Florence Pugh just in Budapest hanging out, Jordan making movies while he's hanging out while they're making a movie.
Oh, I'd love to go to Jordan. I bet the food's amazing.
Yeah, but this is great. I mean, Tom Holland, 2 awesome sounding movies in the back-to-back weeks.
Yeah, he's doing a good job. Obviously, you're going to say yes to a Nolan movie, but then to do something with Butler that seems like a really cool action event-driven film. I think he's making, just from the last few weeks, really good decisions going forward.
Yeah, I think it was probably smart because he took that break after Spider-Man No Way Home. He wasn't in really any new releases for a little while. Did a stage play.
He did Romeo and Juliet
been
for
doing
like a
theater.
year. Yeah.
So I think that was a smart move, just to take the step back. Don't jump on castings. Don't do Uncharted 2.
Yeah. His Romeo and Juliet's doing great in the West End. It's been a hit.
That's what people are saying.
Now, I was wondering why Warner Brothers hadn't made this move earlier of making a Game of Thrones film. I mean, at its peak, they could have done something, and people would have gone to see it.
Definitely.
I mean, a Game of Thrones movie in theaters, but they've just announced that they're working on a Game of Thrones film to be released in theaters. No writer, no director is attached. Nobody knows what the hell it's going to be about, who it would involve, but it's happening.
Well, let's say peak Game of Thrones era,
Yes.
going back to 2014. What would you want a movie about?
Well, back when Game of Thrones was running, I would have wanted the Civil War between Targaryens as a film.
Yeah,
That would have been
versus
a great
the
series.
show.
Yeah.
Versus the
versus
4
the-
season 1 movie. It's like Hobbit.
Versus the 2 seasons where 2 things happen.
It's literally the Hobbit. Like, it's one book that's turned into 3 movies.
An entire season where one character is just standing around in an empty castle.
You know, it'd be a cool movie, which they could have done back in the day. Maybe it's too late. Is a Jaime Lannister movie of his kingslaying
Origins. Well, the Robert's Rebellion would have been a great movie.
Yeah,
That would have been sick to see. Because the characters were, you could have had Sean Bean back. You could have had the guy from Still Standing back as Robert. I can't remember his name.
Just say Robert Baratheon.
So those actors were young enough where they could have reprised their roles, because it was only like 16, 17 years before the events of Game of Thrones, Robert's Rebellion, because I don't think that Ned had kids yet, so they could have done that. It just wasn't that big of a hit yet. But Robert's Rebellion would have been sick to see. That was a cool story.
They could have really tapped into some cool movies.
Yeah.
Godzilla Minus One news, everyone. It's getting a sequel. Director Takashi Yamazaki is confirmed to return to write, direct, produce, and also run up the visual effects for the film like he did in the first one. Really exciting news. They obviously ended that film with it's good. Something can happen. They opened it up.
Oh yeah, the
left
end.
it open-ended for a potential sequel. So really exciting
dun,
news to one of the best Godzilla movies ever made, and one of the most exciting movies last year, I think, was Godzilla Minus One.
I'm sure they'll get a bigger budget this time. They were re-releasing it again.
Yeah, what was it, 14 mil for the budget for the last one? Something
Yeah,
like
about
10,
that, yeah.
10, 14 mil, I think it was.
It was under 20.
Yeah.
Under 20. Next up. Big news, everybody. You know, Alien's so hot right now. We got a TV show. Fede Alvarez just got a greenlit for a sequel for Romulus. But what's even more exciting than all of that, Ridley Scott says he's developing a new Alien film.
King is back,
Let's
baby.
go!
The king is back.
I'm in.
I'm so ready.
I don't know. Nobody knows if this will be finishing out his storyline with Prometheus and Alien Covenant.
David, let's do a David continuation.
Is he finally gonna finish that story? I mean, I would be down for that. I would absolutely be down.
Such a good ending, Alien Covenant.
I would love to see what Ridley had in mind for the rest of that story and setting up the first Alien film. Or will this be a separate thing? I'm not sure you have to do a separate thing because Fede's doing a separate thing right now.
Yeah.
But either way, I'm down. I'm awesome. 87 years.
I'm awesome.
No, it's awesome. It's early.
Anthony just said, I'm awesome. Like, you're making it. You know, I'm kind of a big deal, everybody.
I'm Ridley Scott.
I'm pretty awesome.
I am the man. Ridley's awesome. 87 years old. And he's still doing it, man. He's got treasure. He's got 6 movies in the works. In pre-production right now.
We're so lucky to have this guy.
He's coming out with Gladiator 2 next week. We're seeing it. It's insane what this guy's doing at that age.
Yeah, we're seeing an early screening on the 10th. I cannot wait. But speaking of Ridley, let's talk about Gladiator 2 versus this historian. So apparently, there's this historian, and she's calling out Gladiator 2 for being total Hollywood bullshit, saying that rhinos in the Colosseum were not the same breed as they are in the film. And also, there's a scene which includes a newspaper and a cafe, but the printing press would not be invented until 1,200 years later. Boo fucking who? It's a movie.
It's a movie. Guess what? Guess how many f***s I give about that? 0. It's a movie.
God, historians being upset that a fictional movie isn't 100% historically accurate. Relax, everybody.
Is this a documentary?
No.
It's not a documentary.
It's a movie.
It's not a documentary.
This guy riding a rhino. And of course, they're the sharks in the Colosseum. Probably not historically accurate either, but you know what? It looks fucking sick.
Cool.
It looks fucking sick.
It's a movie. It's not real.
It's a movie.
It's not real. This is not. Here's the thing. When people have historical accuracy issues with movies, they are not documentaries. A documentary has to be completely factual. But a movie is a movie.
Literally, the first Gladiator movie, Maximus, at the end of the movie, becomes Emperor of Rome. I don't think that happened.
A gladiator freed Rome from their emperor?
I don't think that happened in real life.
That didn't happen either. It's not real. This is a story to give us a sense for a different time. And you can make it historically accurate, but also it's a fictional story. And it's just cool to be able to see a story set in that world and visit that world. Do I care that it's the wrong breed of rhino? No, I don't care. I could give less of a fuck.
The wrong breed of rhino. It's so funny.
Who cares? It's not a documentary, okay? This is a feature film. It's a narrative. It's fictional. Let's just sit back, relax. Why not be like, wow, it's so cool. It's a huge, giant, ancient Roman epic in theaters. People are going to go see globally. Isn't that a cool thing?
Especially
or you can just shit on it.
Don't you want people to be more interested in ancient cultures and ancient Rome? I mean, just saying.
I don't know.
I mean, we already know dudes are interested enough in ancient Rome.
I watch so much ancient Rome stuff. It's insane.
Goodness.
The wrong breed. The wrong rhino breed. Who cares?
A freaking gladiator becomes the protector of Rome in the first film, guys.
Oh my god.
Chill out.
Marcus Aurelius made someone who wasn't his son emperor. Absolutely inaccurate. Absolutely inaccurate.
I want you to become protector of Rome after I die.
Did not happen.
Bring power back to the people of Rome.
He made Commodus emperor before he died in real life.
Anyways.
Get the fuck out of here.
I love history, but man, historians, you gotta relax. You cling to the books.
The gatekeepers of history. My God, it's a fucking movie.
We finally got our first trailer for Luca Guadagnino's Queer, starring Daniel Craig, which comes out on November 27th, very soon.
Holy shit.
Trailer looked fantastic.
So good.
So surreal and interesting. Lots of great imagery. It felt
him in the hallway reaching, and there's
felt Hitchcockian.
Eye in the window.
Yeah. I got a very Hitchcock vibe by some of the aesthetics as well as Craig falling from the sky. It felt like if Hitchcock made a movie today.
And there's a lot of imagery of night crawlers in the film, which I'm curious.
Those insects?
Yeah, I'm curious about what that has to do with this theme. So
there's the necklace as well.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a lot of night crawlers in the movie, which is going to be a constant image that we see symbolically. So, I mean, Luca, he just gets better with age, and he gets better with time. And I mean, Call Me by Your Name is still my favorite film of his, but Challengers was so impressive of a directing feat. I've seen it 3 times this year. I loved it, and I cannot wait. It's amazing. He's dropping this and Challengers 6 months apart.
It's pretty wild.
Like, he's on top of his game. He's by far one of the most interesting filmmakers working to this day, and it looks absolutely phenomenal. Beautiful cinematography shot on film, and I just can't wait to see this. A couple weeks away.
A few weeks away.
All right, let's talk about lanterns. Hold on,
What was that? Andy had something in his throat. Lanterns. I'm talking about lanterns. You sounded like the guy in Men in Black when he was an alien inside of him.
like the little head.
No, the guy who's the
inside of the machine.
Yeah, the sugar water, lanterns, sugar water.
The bug guy.
Yeah, the bug guy. You want to try that again?
Lanterns. Update. Garrett Dillahunt, who's been like a supporting actor in so many movies and TV shows. You all recognize him. He's been cast in Lanterns, the series, and his character is described as a self-righteous, conspiracy-minded man who masks his ruthless ambition behind a charming and calculated facade. Sounds like he might be the big heavy. The heavy. Oh, Sheriff, we're going to call this in. What are we going to put out? Looking for a man who has recently drunk milk. Looking for a man who has recently drunk milk. That's No Country for Old Men.
It's Garrett Dillahunt. Let's talk about Epilogue. This is a Kate Siegel and David Dastmalchian's new zombie horror film. It will be produced and directed by Michael Flanagan, directed by Michael
Flanagan.
Michael Fimignari will direct it. It's set 1 year after the zombie apocalypse has come to an end and follows a couple who try to find a cure for their infected daughter. So they pulled a Shaun of the Dead and put her in the shed with the Xbox.
She's been playing Xbox for a year.
No, it's a cool idea.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
I like that. Sounds fun.
Next up, we have the first look at the Pinocchio horror movie, which is set in the Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey cinematic universe. Robert Englund's been...
Eglin! You did it again! Our Freddy episode, Anthony said Robert Eglin.
It's the E-N-G. It throws me off.
Oh, yeah, What do you say, Eglin, when you talk about England?
No, I'm just saying. It's weird.
It's not weird at all. You've been saying England your whole life. Just say England, Anthony.
Yeah, but when I think of England, this is different spelling than England.
So it's not the E-N-G, it's the U-N-D at the end.
I know. I'm just saying it throws me off. The spelling throws me off.
Well, you said
if it was spelled like England, I would say England.
Give it another go.
Robert Englund has also been cast in the film. I want to say England though.
England.
I so badly want to say England when I see that name.
No, you want to say E-N-G. No, you want to say Eglin, not England.
England's best.
You keep saying Eglin. There's no N in your word.
England.
Robert Englund's been cast in the film.
He's going to lead up the team-up movie Puniverse Monsters Assemble.
So silly. There's also a video of the animatronic Pinocchio. They put some money into this movie.
Yeah, well, they made money, yeah.
Yeah. That first one they did on a budget of like $800,000, I think. Or less.
No, it was $800.
$800? All right, we have some news about Tomb Raider, the live-action series that Phoebe Waller-Bridge is developing. Right now, Sophie Turner and Lucy Boynton are in the running to potentially play Lara Croft in the live-action Tomb Raider series, along with Robert Englund.
He's up for the role of Lara Croft.
So we'll see who gets cast, and I'm sure that will go into pre-production pretty damn soon, or production probably early next year.
I would say Lucy Boynton seems like a good pick for Lara.
What's Lucy Boynton in?
She's in Sing Street. She's the girl that the guy has a crush on. She's in Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, I recognize her.
The Pale Blue Eye. She's a very good actor. I would say she's a blonde haired, but I'm sure if you dye her hair brown, she would feel like the character. Yeah, I think
we'll find out. I swear to God, if Lara Croft is a bicycle messenger,
I'm sure that won't
be irate. Yeah. Can we just make her full version of herself when the show opens for once? Can we?
It better not be an origin story.
You know what it's gonna be. You know it's gonna be. Just full version of
Lara
Croft.
If that first scene of that show isn't her raiding a tomb, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna be upset. She better be raiding a tomb.
It's so easy to do. The story's so easy.
It's easy peasy, man.
Raid a tomb, first scene. Giant handguns. Give me that. That's what we want. I like the bow and arrow, but just handguns are so much cooler. Giant handguns.
Yeah, that's Lara Croft, man. That's her. All right, we got our first look at Barry Keoghan. in Peaky Blinders. There's a shot of him,
The movie.
of hanging outside the window of a truck that he's driving. Looks like he's talking to someone. Actually, no, he wouldn't be driving that because it's on the left side.
Yeah, Anthony, come on, man.
I said it.
I thought you were dating a British woman.
I literally said it. I don't know if you saw Cillian Murphy riding a horse.
Oh,
There's a footage of him and a shot of him riding a horse, covered in like coal and dirt. He had just something must have happened. Soot. Yeah, there's soot everywhere. So yeah, we're all very excited for this. Can't wait to see this amazing cast that they put together. Cillian, I saw in an interview, said he's just really excited to be working on it, and they said that they just want to make sure they appease the fans and give them something that fans would love.
Love to hear it. Have you seen these behind-the-scenes photos and images of Billy Zane as Marlon Brando?
Yeah, he's a cool dude.
In The Godfather and Last Tango in Paris?
Looks just like him. It's unbelievable.
It's absurd how uncanny the looks are. So he's obviously in wardrobe as Godfather, as the Don in the first film, as well as a couple other iconic Marlon Brando roles. Billy Zane, absolutely perfect casting visually and aesthetically to Marlon Brando.
Also, so this film's going to be about Brando prepping and filming Last Tango in Paris and Godfather, which he made around the same time. And even the Last Tango photos, it's like, holy shit. Looks just like Brando with the turtleneck and the long hair. It's unbelievable how similar they look. It's shocking.
Yeah, I never noticed. Never noticed before.
Yeah, he's always looked like him. But he looked like a young
Billy Zane as Don Vito.
Yeah.
It's uncanny.
It's unreal.
It's incredible.
It's unreal.
He looks more like Don Vito than Marlon Brando did.
He looks more like Brando than Brando. All right, next up. Johnny Depp has been cast in his biggest Hollywood movie yet, opposite Penelope Cruz.
For his comeback.
Yes. Since his comeback.
Like, bro, it's Johnny fucking Depp. His biggest movie, a $10 million independent film from Lionsgate.
It wouldn't be independent if it was from Lionsgate. Get out of here! You're right. Since his old controversial whatever, he's going to be starring opposite Penelope Cruz in Day Drinker, directed by Mark Webb.
Interesting. Is this the first time Mark Webb's directed since Amazing Spider-Man 2?
No, he made a couple of movies that no one saw.
What do you make?
He made that Girl Who's Smart movie with Chris Evans.
Oh, he made that?
What's it called? Gifted. Yeah, where Chris Evans' niece is like incredibly smart. And then he's directing Snow White.
He's directing Snow White? No way. I had no idea.
He's probably been working on that for a while.
Whoa.
Since they reshot it.
Wow, that's a big job.
Yeah, but
okay, he's been directing stuff. He did a bunch of TV series.
Yeah, he did this movie, The Only Living Boy in New York, with Anton Yelchin. No, Caleb Turner. Nobody saw that.
Yeah, but the thing with him, I was curious because I know after The Amazing Spider-Man 2, which was 2014, he made Gifted in 2017, but then he didn't make a movie until now Snow White because he just did 2 or 3 episodes of different TV series. He did Instinct, The Code, The Society, Why Women Kill, Rebel. He did a bunch of episodes. He took a break too. He didn't do anything between 2001 and 2024. Obviously, lockdown and maybe had an effect on that. But yeah, I was curious because I hadn't seen his name in a directing credit in quite a while for a film.
Quite a while. Yeah, I think he. The overall failure of Spider-Man 2 might have put him in director's jail.
Yeah, maybe not director's jail. Would you say that Amazing Spider-Man 2 was a failure?
Overall, yeah. I mean, they didn't make a third one.
Because
they would have made a third one if it was a success.
Well, it was still, what was its box office? 716
Well, yeah, it made money, but it wasn't well received.
Yeah, I guess so. I remember at the time, a lot of people didn't like it. I thought it was pretty cool. But I think I definitely remember people not liking it, especially, the ending with Gwen getting, taken out.
Her back broken.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty good Spider-Man movie, but it just wasn't that great. And yeah, I mean, if it was great, they would have made a third one.
No, you're right. I remember.
I mean, it made money, but still, it costs a lot.
The opening with I mean, I liked Amazing Spider-Man a lot. I think Garfield's great, but the opening with his dad on the jet and everything.
So ridiculous. It was like, I was like, I remember watching that in theaters like, is this a Spider-Man movie? Did we walk into the wrong movie? What the fuck is this? I was like,
Ben.
All right, definitely, you're definitely gonna open the sequel with an awesome Spider-Man action scene, right? No, it's his parents running away, his dad running away,
fighting on a jet,
and they're on a, yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah,
this is not.
It was a weird movie.
Weird
I thought it was a weird movie.
Let's get back into movie news, though.
Yes,
and I really enjoy Amazing Spider-Man movies. By the way, just saying.
I like the first one a lot.
Yeah,
yeah,
I think it's great.
Yeah,
Garfield's perfect. Also, speaking of Andrew Garfield, if you have time, go see We Live in Time. It's terrific. I loved it so much. It's so sweet and emotional. I can't recommend it enough.
James is still crying about it.
Still crying about it.
Still.
Welcome to Derry. We got our first look images at the It prequel series. Welcome to Derry. It is set 27 years before the events of It, obviously, because the clown comes out every 27 years. Andy Muschietti will direct 4 out of the 9 episodes. Bill Skarsgård is returning as Pennywise, and it releases in 2025 on HBO.
I'm curious. Curious what makes you curious. Bill Skarsgård makes me curious.
It's the only reason, yeah, honestly. Yeah. If he wasn't coming back, I would not want to watch it.
Yeah, if they had cast someone else as Pennywise, I would have not been interested at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing him return. He's a highlight of those movies.
He sure is.
Speaking of Bill Skarsgård, something else that makes me curious. Nosferatu, which comes out on Christmas.
Inside Christmas.
inside of Christmas. They released new character posters, and they look great. It's really cool. So it's a character poster featuring all the stars looking straight at you, but they have this really dark shadow over their eyes and the top of their heads, and then you see this really bright, tiny dots of light in each of their eyes. So it's just really interesting. They did a good job with it. It's creative.
It looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I can't wait. And they did not show Nosferatu.
A couple of weeks ago, we were talking about how Greta Gerwig was not happy about her Narnia movies not being released in theaters because it's a Netflix deal. She is apparently in talks with IMAX to put her Narnia movie on 2,000 screens, potentially before the film releases on Netflix for a couple of weeks.
Let's go, IMAX.
Come on.
IMAX is the best.
Let's do it. It's the best way to watch a movie.
Yeah. I mean, man, they have a lot of theaters.
Yeah. I don't know if they have I guess they have 2,000 theaters.
I don't know if they have that many. Well, maybe globally. Because IMAX theaters.
I mean, there are at least 5 just in Massachusetts where we're from, and then
yes, 1,700 IMAX theaters.
Yeah, there's
in
like
90
20
countries.
in Los
Wow,
Angeles.
they've grown. Thanks to us.
Yeah, we've been really promoting IMAX. You're welcome, IMAX.
Yeah, that'd be sick, man.
It's funny how many times people have accused us of getting paid by IMAX. It's just, we just love IMAX.
They've never paid us.
We love IMAX.
Yeah. Next up, 3 live-action Lego movies have been announced and are in the works at Universal. Jake Kasdan will direct a film. Patty Jenkins will direct a film. And then Joe Cornish, the English filmmaker, will be directing and writing his own film. Lots of Lego stuff.
Legos. This movie, Roofman, has been getting a lot of traction. And so I remember we talked about this a month ago-ish. It's about a robber who lived in a Toys R Us store.
It was 2 weeks ago, man.
And broke into more than 60 McDonald's, then emptied the cash register after herding staff into freezers. And the cast is getting bigger and bigger. So we have Uzo Aduba, Ben Mendelsohn, Lakeith Stanfield, Juno Temple have been cast alongside Channing Tatum, Kirsten Dunst, and Peter Dinklage. Pretty damn good cast.
Isn't this, who's the director of this?
I cannot remember.
It's not Soderbergh, is it?
No, not Soderbergh.
Roofman movie. Directed by Derek Chan France. Cool.
Oh, sick.
Fuck yeah. No wonder why he's getting that cast. Very cool. There's another Ben Mendelsohn movie announced. Mole People. Anthony Ramos and Ben Mendelsohn are leading Rob Savage's movie, which is a horror film that follows a twisted society living in abandoned tunnels under the streets of New York City.
Finally. This sounds like more like a documentary.
Sounds like us.
A bit. Well, I think Mole People was a thing that was hot in the 90s. It was. I haven't heard Mole People in years.
It's been a while. Super rats, mold people.
Super rats was a thing, man. Mole people was a thing.
Oh, let me Google search mole people in New York City.
It was.
No, I remember this term. Mole people, New York City, 1990s.
It was just like one of those conspiracy things. It was like lizard people.
Yeah.
In case
It's funny, the images are ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like the lizard people that are politicians kind of stuff. In case you were curious what Jeremy Allen White was going to look like as Bruce Springsteen, you don't have to find out any longer. The movie, which hits theaters next year, released its first image of the actor as the boss. Looks just like him. Looks just like him.
Looks good.
As Anthony said to me this morning, another photo reveal of another person as a music biopic. Here we go. The 40th one in the last 3 years.
2 weeks ago it was a completely unknown, and then this week it's this one. It's like every few weeks is a new music biopic.
I can't
With,
wait.
The same photos.
You know what I'm waiting for? The Blue Man Group one. I want a Blue Man Group biopic now.
Blue Man Group Origins. It's just called.
I want Austin Butler, Michael B. Jordan, and Keanu Reeves. Blue Man Group.
It's called Blue.
Just a bunch of shaved heads.
Oh my god! All right, I'm really excited about this news. Marlon Wayans, with his friend a high Ghostface, announced Scary Movie 6 is happening, which I'm really excited for. I can't wait. It's been so long. They took a huge break.
What year was Scary Movie 5?
2010? Something like that? It was a while ago.
2013.
2013. Wow. Over 10 years. Imagine all the movies they can make fun of.
Yeah, I mean, I think that'd be great. What would you lead with if you're making Scary Movie 6? Because I think I personally
I would do Hereditary.
I think I would do Get Out.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be a good basis. And then maybe Smile. Maybe, I guess you could do It Follows, possibly. That was a really popular horror movie. But I think I would do Get Out as a base.
I would do Hereditary. I would make fun of Robert Eggers. I would make fun of Ari Aster. I would make fun of Jordan Peele. And then, Smile might be a good one to hit as well. You could really make fun of Smile in a good way.
Yeah.
There's a lot of potential. You can make fun of Longlegs.
But still, Scream is there as well.
Yes, yeah. I mean, Ghostface, yeah, you're always going to have Ghostface there. Well, actually, no, you don't always have to have
Well, he announced it
with
Ghostface.
Yeah, I'm just saying, yeah, Ghostface.
So this will be the first time all the Wayans brothers have collaborated since Scary Movie 5. So it's been almost a little over 10 years.
You could do Quiet Place. Would be funny.
Quiet Place would be good.
Really funny to make fun of.
Yeah.
You could make fun of Pennywise.
Yeah.
You could do a funny bit with Pennywise. Split
would be fun.
There's a lot of it's been so long. There's so many great horror movies they can shit on.
I feel like Get Out, Quiet Place, and Scream would be the top ones.
Mm-hmm. They could do a good Pennywise.
All right, we have a new film called Assassination coming out. It's going into production pretty soon, directed by Barry Levinson. Now, Jessica Chastain, Brendan Fraser, Bryan Cranston, and Al Pacino will star in this JFK conspiracy thriller. It follows a journalist who suspects Lee Harvey Oswald did not act alone and sets out to find the real killer of JFK. I'm assuming this is a period piece, since this seems like it's at the time of the events. When it happened.
It's not a period piece.
Well, how would you know, Anthony?
It's not.
How would you know? Yeah.
No, yeah, you might be right. It could be.
It's probably a period piece.
Yeah, it's probably.
JFK Files. It's hot right now.
Yeah, I wonder what happened. All right, next up. For all you gamers out there, the franchise, the beloved game Outlast, is getting a video game live-action adaptation from Lionsgate. And for any fans of the game, good news for you, the game's writer will actually be writing the screenplay.
Thank God.
They're actually learning.
Wow.
They're learning.
They didn't hire someone who's never played a video game before to write the script?
Believe it or not.
Whoa.
Believe it or not, they actually hired someone who knew what they were doing.
Oh, my goodness.
Because they wrote the fucking games.
There's a new heist movie coming out. We're being cast right now. So, Lunatic Heist. Lupita Nyong'o, John Mulaney, and Jared Leto have been cast in Ken Power's film, Lunatic Heist. The film follows the American government's plot to steal a Soviet spacecraft during a 1959 expedition in Mexico City. Sounds pretty effing cool.
Fun. John Mulaney in a cool sounding movie. I'm signing up. Yeah,
pretty cool.
Yeah, I love John Mulaney.
Cool.
Yeah, very cool. Next up, Alpha Gang. There's so many film announcements this week. This is crazy.
A lot of castings.
Dave Bautista, Kate Blanchett, Channing Tatum. Channing's all over this week. Stephen Yen, Zoe Kravitz, Léa Seydoux, and Riley Coe have been cast in Alpha Gang. And it follows a group of alien invaders who disguise themselves as a 1950s biker gang on their mission to conquer Earth.
That sounds awesome.
Sounds fun. That sounds really fun.
Sounds really great. Ki-hee Kwan, still on fire. He will star as the lead in the new action thriller Fairy Tale in New York from Sisu director Jean-Marie Helander. The film follows a cab driver who takes one last ride before celebrating the holidays until he must relentlessly pursue criminals who have stolen his kid's priceless Christmas gift. This sounds pretty interesting. I wonder if it'll be a family-friendly Christmas movie because it is a holiday film.
Sounds like it. Yeah, bring back the silly action Christmas movies.
Heck yeah.
We got Red One coming out this year. This sounds like it'll come out next year.
And then the year after that, there will be another.
That's how, and the world keeps turning.
Bring them back, Anthony.
Bring him back.
Mark Watney to direct a Christmas movie.
We are getting a Cliffhanger reboot of the Sly Stallone action classic. Lily James and Pierce Brosnan will star, with Jamis Colette Serra set to direct. It was meant to be a sequel to Sylvester Stallone. I remember them talking about that a couple months ago. But he dropped out. And so they went under a creative overhaul and have started from scratch.
And then Emily Blunt will be in Rambo.
Just don't touch Die Hard, guys.
Yeah.
Please.
I know you're going to remake everything.
Don't touch Die Hard, please.
Just leave Die Hard alone.
Just let John McClane, just let him be.
Let Rocky be.
Oh, my God.
Well, they're doing a good job with Rocky anyway.
Oh, yeah.
The Apollo
Rocky's
movies.
doing great with Rocky. But you mean like the character Rocky?
Yeah. All right. All right. Jack Ryan movie's coming out. It's in the works with John Krasinski set to reprise his role of the CIA analyst.
That's awesome, man.
The film might get a theatrical release.
That's cool. They should make it a theatrical release. It will only help the brand of their show if they release it in theaters. Finally, more casting, man. So many fucking castings.
It was a busy day, man.
Holy shit. Lone Wolf will star Lily Gladstone and Bryan Cranston, an action thriller. The film follows a troubled vet struggling with addiction who is recruited by a contractor for a covert government plot to assassinate a high-level politician. Lone Wolf.
Pretty cool. Sounds like Gladstone will be the assassin.
Sounds like it. And I bet Cranston is the recruiter. You got it, man.
What gave you that idea?
He's the only one left.
Quite a bit of news this week, man.
A fair bit of news.
So many castings. This movie Roofman sounds really interesting because Jim French we love.
Yeah.
I mean, Blue Valentine and then The Place Beyond the Pines.
Sounds like it'd be it's like a dark comedy too, which he hasn't done yet.
Yeah, I wonder if it's based on a true story.
It is based on a true story.
Is it really?
Yeah.
A guy who hid out in Toys R Us and robbed the McDonald's.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right, everybody. Well, that wraps this week's movie news. Stay tuned for episodes this week. We got Anora, our review, dropping tomorrow. It's going to be an excellent one. Don't miss that. It'll be our first episode of November for movies. And then we have something cool coming on Wednesday. But you know the deal.
Super cool.
Please subscribe on YouTube. Leave those 5-star ratings and reviews on Spotify and Apple. Those things help us get seen by new people every single day. Make sure to become a patron today at patreon.com/Raiders of the Lost Podcast. And take care, everybody. Did I say take?
I don't know what you...
Take care, everybody.
Soft T.
Take. It's not as bad as Eglin.
Robert Eglin says goodbye.
Take care.
See you next time.